I was just reading a book called The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. And this book, man, I'm telling you, it's like probably one of the best books I've ever read in terms of self improvement, self help. Like, when I first started reading it, first of all, I started reading it purely based on interest, right? So I'm very into war strategy, I'm very into tactics and whatnot. So I was like, all right, let me give this book a shot. But yo, after reading the first chapter, I realized how critical some of the perspectives are, especially in relation to modern society, how they can be applied to help you as a man become more masculine, more grounded in yourself. And so I'm gonna share what I learned from the first chapter. I believe I titled this video "Declare War on Your Enemies," which, to be fair, sounds like a daunting title, right? Like, how is this gonna apply to me? Declare war on my enemies? Like, what are we? Are we in World War II? But the truth is, man, this book has a few key points that could potentially change your life as a man, you know. So I'm gonna get into those. So first things first, man, declare war on your enemies. What exactly does this mean? We live in a day and age where people are afraid to make enemies, people are afraid of confrontation, and people are afraid to be polarizing figures. And I'm going to explain what all of these mean and how they relate to being a purposeful man and having a sense of direction. So the first thing is, man, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but people are just so like weak and docile these days. Like, nobody really knows how to take a strong opinion and hold it with conviction. Everyone's kind of in the middle. This is why someone like Andrew Tate, when he comes along and he starts speaking about his opinions and beliefs, he garners so much attention. It's because he's a polarizing figure. You never see Andrew Tate take, the middle ground in any position. He's always either on one end of the extreme or another. And that's what captivates people. That's what gets people talking about him. It's a genius marketing strategy, but that's not the point of this video. The point is to say, as a man, you need to have values and beliefs that you've established. Whether you're a religious Christian, a religious Muslim, you need to have faith in a collection of ideas and stick by them and be willing to die for them. That is a true man, somebody who has conviction and purpose. Because if you don't, what tends to happen is you can be easily swayed by society. Think about the majority of men these days, how weak they are, how unopinionated they are, how easy they are to control and manipulate, and why that's currently happening, and why the higher ups have such a grasp on, the lower socioeconomic classes, is because people struggle to form beliefs and stick by them and have conviction. Conviction is a really important word, but you need to be a polarizing figure, not only if you're trying to make it big, on social media, or to garner people's attention, or to be a great leader, but it's also for yourself. It's also to know who you are. I read one of the quotes in this book. I'm going to try my best to paraphrase it, but it said something like, the quicker you realize who you don't want to be, the clearer your sense of identity and purpose will. You need to introspect and understand that there are some ideas, groups of people and individuals that you should loathe, that you should hate, that you should strive to be the opposite of. Because when you have a reference point for what you don't want to be. For example, for me, it's weak men. I don't want to be a weak man. I don't want to be somebody who is docile, who sits on his ass all day, who's unproductive. I don't want to be a low value person. I want to be somebody who is financially successful, somebody who is strong, masculine, and driven. And I look at the opposite of that and I say, this is who I don't want to be. And I mentally declare war on them. And that's not to say war as in like I would hate those people, or, I'd want them all dead, or like exterminated from society or something. But all I'm saying is that I don't want to be like them, and therefore I've mentally declared war on them. And that's why I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I try my best. Everything I do, when I think about it, it's always, I want to be the opposite of those people. So I said that to say this. It is important for you to understand who you don't want to be, who your enemies are, and to basically declare war on them and avoid being that as much as possible. This also makes you a great leader, right? Because people are very motivated and driven and passionate when you're able to establish an us versus them dynamic. You need to talk about why your side is better than the other side. And trust me, guys, people who are like, I'm not going to take a side, like, you don't want them on your side anyways, because they're, like I said, unpolarized, weak, and can easily be swayed. You want strong people who believe in your cause, and you want to have an ecosystem of those men around you. Now, the other thing that's really important is to understand the importance of competition. Bro, men these days don't know how important competition is. Everyone's like, I'll do it for myself. I fucking hate it when people say that, man. It's so fucking annoying. I'll do it for myself. Like, bro, what is yourself doing it for? Like, what does that even mean? I'm doing it for myself. It sounds good on paper, but really think about it. You're doing it for yourself so you can distinguish yourself from others, so you can be someone that other people are not. Otherwise, what would be the point? Guys, there needs to be bad for there to be good. There needs to be something you don't want to be for you to want to be something. Okay, there's no such thing as, oh, I'm just doing it for myself. There needs to be competition. You need to be able to strive to get to the top, because if you don't mentally acknowledge that there's people out there willing to put in more hours than you, willing to work harder than you, willing to put in more time than you, then what do you think is going to happen? They're just going to pummel you. They're going to exceed you. And before you know it, the gap between you and them is going to be so big that you will have no time to catch up. You will have absolutely no chance to catch up. Understand your competition. Understand that there are finite resources in this world, that you are competing for a finite amount of things. You are competing for finite resources, and you need to be able to strive to the top, outwit and outcompete your opponents if you really want to achieve what you want to achieve in life. I hate it when people say, oh, bro, we're all going to make it, bro. It's like the Ziz fans. Like, I love Ziz, but, oh, we're all going to make it, bro. It's like, no, bro, we're not all going to make it. 1% of us are really, really going to make it. Like, listen, bro, this world wasn't made for everyone to be successful, for everyone to have a chance to rise to the top. Maybe for everyone to have a chance, equality of opportunity, but the outcome is clear. There is a socioeconomic hierarchy. There are people at the top, there are people at the middle, and there are people at the bottom. And where you are in that ranking, obviously there's other factors. There's like, you know, where you grew up, your environment, genetics, but ultimately at the end of the day, how hard you work and how many sacrifices you're willing to make will decide where you are in that hierarchy. And there's competition, there's people trying to take your spot. If you really want like a kick in the ass to get started, think of it like this. There's limited places in the top, and for every second you waste, the chance of you getting that spot decreases and decreases. Someone else may take your spot, and if they take your spot, you'll probably never get it. So just remember, people are fighting to take what you could be getting in the future. You know, we can all say, oh, we have potential and we're young, but the truth is, man, time is running out. You have to start now if you really want to get somewhere. Anyways, man, it's been the end of this video. It's been the end of my rant. Thank you so much for listening. It's been your boy YBC. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.